custody and possession. And so before she ends and they pass her, I'd like to have that provided to us under 3914.
I have an NCIC, TCIC, but that's all that I can provide to her. Those records, as council knows, would have to be subpoenaed from the Texas Department of Public Safety, and it's not going to be turned over before the conclusion of this trial.
All right. So, state, if you just put in the order for her driving record, and we'll proceed with testimony. And then if the witness needs to be recalled, the witness can be recalled, and you can take the witness on cross, even if you're the person who's recalling her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Oh, and I'm sorry, state, do you have your first witness?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, if you can have them take the stand.
Yes, sir.
Just one moment. They're going to have their witness take the stand. All right, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury. Have a seat.
All right, everyone, please be seated. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Melissa Wright.
All right, you may proceed.
Miss Wright, did you have a different last name back in 2022?
Yes, it was Cox.
It was Cox.
Yes.
Okay. And what county do you currently live in?
In Wilson.
And how long have you lived in Wilson County?
Just over 5 years.
And where is Wilson County in relation to Bear County?
Of South.
Have you ever lived in Bear County before?
No.
Okay. And what do you do for employment?
I work for a bank.
Okay. And how old are you currently?
How old am I?
Yes, ma'am.
56.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you about January 25th of 2022. Do you recall what you were doing that day?
Yes, I was driving to a part-time job.
Okay. And do you recall what road you were taking when you were driving?
Yes, I was on Highway 181, traveling north.
And is that portion of Highway 181 in Bear County, Texas,
Yes.
are there any landmarks that you were traveling toward on 181?
You pass a rather large lake on the right-hand side, and then there's also like a railroad, like CPS bridge.
Do you know the name of that lake that's in the area?
I believe it's Calaveras.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibits 4, States Exhibit 5, and States Exhibit number 6. Have you had a chance to review those?
Yes.
And have you previously viewed them as well?
Yes.
Okay, and are you familiar with the area of US Highway 181?
Yes.
And does States Exhibit number 4 appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the bridge and highway that you previously described?
Yes.
Okay, and in States Exhibits number 5 and number 6, those appear to be fair and accurate depictions of the location where you were at one point on US Highway 181 on the date of the offense date?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, the state offers states 4 through 6 inclusive and tenders the same to defense for inspection.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, states exhibits number 4, 5, and 6 are admitted without objection.
Permission?
Granted.
Okay, Ms. Wright, can you see that up there?
Yes.
Okay, if you have any trouble viewing on the screen right in front of you, you may turn around and look at the big screen there, okay? And so the bridge that you described as a CPS bridge, do you see that on state's exhibit number 4?
Yes.
Okay, and where would that be?
It's where the loops are.
In this area?
Yes.
Okay, and what direction were you traveling on January 25th, 2022? Was it this
Right.
way?
I
or
was
this-
traveling north.
You were traveling north, okay. And so did anything catch your attention when you were at or near the CPS bridge?
Yes, I caught the view of a SUV coming up behind me very quickly, enough
Okay.
that it caught my eye in the rearview mirror.
Okay, and do you recall what type of motor vehicle that was approaching you?
I believe it was a silver Cadillac.
Okay, and so you look in your rear view mirror, and then what happens after that?
I looked at I thought he was gonna hit me, first of all, because he was coming so quickly. But when he got up to where my truck was, they actually moved over into the left lane because I was traveling in the right lane.
Okay, and so what type of motor vehicle were you traveling in on that day?
I was in a Dodge Ram 2500.
Okay, and so you stated you were traveling in the right lane, is that correct?
Mhm.
And so after this silver Cadillac approaches you at a high rate of speed, then what did it do?
It moved into the left lane and there was another vehicle already in the left lane, but a little bit ahead of me. And then it jutted quickly back over in front of me,
Okay,
very closely. Like I thought he was gonna hit my front end.
okay. And do you know what the speed limit is out there on that stretch of US Highway 181?
I believe it's posted 65.
Okay, and is that depicted here in State's Exhibit number 5?
Yes.
Okay. And so what happened after you observed that silver motor vehicle jump in front of you?
When he jumped in front of me, I actually looked at my own speedometer to see how fast I was going. And I think I even made a comment to myself, like, holy crap, this person is flying. And I was going 70, like right on 70 miles per hour.
Okay. And then after he passed you, then what happened?
So
you looked
after
at your
he
speedometer?
passed me, the road is straight, but it's very hilly. It's a little hilly. So I was down kind of in the hill going under the bridge, the railroad bridge, and he had already left me and like crested the hill. And then there's another little hill. And then all I saw was like smoke or dust, like a big cloud of it. So
Okay. And so after you see the smoke, did you continue driving toward the smoke or what happened?
yes, I continued driving toward the smoke. And when I crested the second hill right south of Candela's, I could tell that that vehicle had had an accident.
Okay. And when you observed that vehicle, did you make any notations? Had you previously seen that vehicle before?
Yes, it was the same vehicle that had come up on me very quickly and then almost cut me off on the road.
Okay. And what did you do at that point? Did you continue driving?
I drove until I got up to where the accident was, and then I pulled over to the side of the road.
Okay. And I'm gonna show you what has been entered into evidence as state's exhibit number 2, I believe. Yeah, Ms. Wright, if you see the vehicle that you were traveling in, please point it out to the jury.
That's my vehicle, the maroon truck, yes.
And at some point, did you exit your motor vehicle?
Yes.
And then what did you do after that?
I go across to the median to the accident. That's me going across. And then I go to the car that was hit in the driver's door, and the airbags were deployed. So I was trying to pull them back so that I could check on the person in the car.
Were you ever able to make contact with the individual that was in that black SUV?
Yes, once I got the airbag out of the way, I was just saying, sir, are you okay? But, and then I checked him for a pulse, and he didn't have one.
Okay. And did he display any signs of life to you when you approached him?
No, he was almost out of his seat, like in between. He was kind of laying backwards in between the two seats, and his neck was very far back, which was, it was easy to like check his neck. But he was not responsive.
And did you make contact with Bear County Sheriff's Office deputies on that day?
Yes,
And did you provide a written statement to them on that day?
yes.
We pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So Ms. Cox, you would agree with me that you did not see the accident, correct?
No, I did not see it, the impact, no.
And so you're unaware of what the black car did or didn't do?
Correct, I
before-
did not see the accident.
All right. And it's your testimony that you saw smoke or dust before you come over the hill?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
All right, any further questions? Any redirect?
Just one. What was did you observe the driver of the silver Cadillac on scene?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury without just his demeanor? Were you able to observe that?
He was pacing for a moment and speaking to me.
We pass the witness. Your Honor.
No further questions.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused by the state, Your Honor.
Excused by the defense.
All right, if you'll leave the square microphone behind. Thank you. All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Frank Garcia, Your Honor. Take a seat out of here. Like this.
All right, if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, that nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. If you could state your name for the record.
Frank Garcia.
All right, state you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Garcia, where do you live currently?
I live in Elmendorf, Texas.
Can you describe to the jury where that is?
It's a small town southeast of San Antonio.
And is that within the confines of Bear County, Texas?
Yes, it is.
And how long have you lived in Elmendorf?
All but 2 years of my life, 57 years.
57, so I adding that together, I'm a lawyer, so I don't know, 59 years old, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so all but 2 of those years have been spent in Elmendorf area living.
Yes,
And so are you familiar with the Highway 181?
very familiar
And can you just tell the jury why you're familiar or very familiar with Highway 181?
because I commute 181 every day, basically.
And so you live pretty close in proximity to 181.
Yes,
And Elmendorf actually is right there on 181. Is that accurate?
correct. 181 runs through it.
And let me ask you, on January 25th, 2022, were you traveling on Highway 181?
181 north on the way to San Antonio.
And you said north on 181 towards San Antonio.
Correct.
Can you tell the jury why were you going to San Antonio this day?
I had errands to run in San Antonio and most of my business is done in San Antonio.
And so would you say almost on a daily basis, you're on 181?
Oh, yes.
And on this particular day, around 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon, were you on Highway 181?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury, can you describe that day? Was it rainy? Was it clear?
It was a clear day, clear, cold day.
And this is January, so you mentioned it's a little cold.
Yes.
And what about visibility out there? Was it hazy? Was it cloudy? Do you recall?
It was cloudy, but it was clear.
Was there any fog on the road or anything?
No,
And so were you able to see up the road and behind you?
oh yeah, visibility was good.
And so how would you describe the road that day? Was it not much traffic or a lot of traffic or medium traffic?
Not much traffic.
And when you're traveling down this road, did anything gain your attention?
Just an SUV coming up behind me pretty fast.
And please describe the jury, where were you located on the highway? One, this is, I think, well aware from testimony previously from other witnesses that this is a 2-lane going north and a 2-lane going south. Is that accurate to say?
Correct.
And can you describe to the jury what the median looks like around this area?
The median is pretty wide. It's grassy. I believe they have a barrier now. Before it was just clear. Now there's a barrier between
There's a barrier, which
the
is,
northbound and the southbound lanes.
are you speaking of like,
Cable barriers.
okay, cable barriers that sort of in between the north and southbound lanes?
Correct.
And are there any areas where you can cross over or get to the other side of the road? Like if you're going north, can you get in a middle part to go south or vice versa?
Oh, there's various crossovers.
And so on this this highway 181, there's numerous crossovers. Is that accurate to say?
Correct.
And do all those have stop signs or stoplights?
Some.
Some do.
Mhm.
And then I guess that means some don't.
Some don't. Correct.
And so throughout your lifetime and your experience, there's areas where there's not a stop sign or a stoplight that you just cross over and get to the middle part. Is
Yeah.
that accurate?
Yes.
And let me ask you, through your experience on this road, have you ever seen accidents on this road?
I've seen a few.
And on these particular accidents, have you stopped at those type of accidents?
No, because normally there's already emergency vehicles there.
So on this particular day, January 25th, 2022, when you're traveling north of San Antonio, do you recall what lane you were in?
I was in the fast lane.
And the fast lane, is that the lane that if you're heading north, and it'd be the one in the left lane, is that right?
Correct.
And what would people call the fast lane, right?
Yes.
And so you were traveling in this lane and you said something brought your attention to it. describe to the jury what you noticed.
Yeah, I looked at my rearview mirror and there was a vehicle coming up on me pretty fast. So I switched lanes, so I veered over into the right lane. And then the vehicle passed me up at a high rate of speed, hauling butt. And it practically made me feel like I was sitting still.
Okay,
That's how
so,
fast the vehicle was traveling.
and do you recall what type of vehicle that was?
It was an SUV, silver, Cadillac.
And so let me sort of break that down. You stated that it felt like you were standing still, how fast this vehicle passed you. Do you recall how fast you were driving?
I was cruising at 65.
And you're saying cruising at 65. Can you describe to the jury what you mean by cruising at
I
65?
had my cruise control set at 65.
So you actually had, and can you describe to the jury, if some that don't know, what cruise control is?
Cruise control is a mechanism you activate to control your speed.
And you can set it at a certain speed.
Correct.
And you had yours at 65 miles an hour.
Yes, the speed limit.
Okay. Is that something you do often? Set your car to cruise control?
Yes, on long rides. Yes.
And so, as you know, this car go by, this silver Cadillac SUV, do you recall where you were at on 181? Were you near anything that of note that could give you, I guess, a sense of where you're at on 181?
I was right before the underpass, the CPS underpass.
I'm going to show you what's been marked state exhibit number 4. Already been admitted into evidence. And I'll let you view that.
Okay, the underpass is right here, right here,
All right, so
in the vehicle.
you're familiar with this map?
Oh, yes. Mhm.
And one that we can't speak over each other.
You can speak.
Okay.
There we go. And so can you point out on the map where you were driving when you noticed this SUV coming up behind you?
I was here as the SUV passed.
Okay, so you're pointing towards the corner of this map, is that right?
Correct.
And where my finger is that accurate to say right there?
Yes.
Okay. So you were traveling right before that bridge or that overpass. And that's when that silver Cadillac SUV passes you at the speed that you indicated.
Correct.
Made you feel like you're standing still.
Oh, yeah.
And did you were in the right-hand lane at that point, is that correct?
Correct.
The slower lane.
Yes.
And did you ever see this vehicle, this silver Cadillac SUV again?
Yes, I saw it up ahead.
And please describe to the jury what you saw when you approached this area.
When I approached the SUV was stopped. And then I noticed there was a vehicle, as I came up to it, there was a vehicle in front of it. And it had been ran into by the SUV. There was debris on the ground and the SUV was smoking.
And this was the same silver SUV that you'd seen pass you.
Yes.
Can you tell the jury, was this minutes later, seconds later? How much later?
Seconds.
Seconds. Because did you continue to drive at 65 miles an hour after this SUV passed you?
No, I slowed.
Slowed. Okay. And why did you slow down?
I slowed down to see what was going on, why the SUV was stopped. And I was pretty much in shock.
And so you came upon this scene, saw what was happening. What did you do at that point?
I kept driving. I should have stopped. I was practically first at the scene and I kept driving.
And I think that was the heater. Sean has a heater on. So,
Okay.
now, when you passed by, you indicated that you felt like you should have stopped.
Yes.
But what did you do after that, after you drove past that scene?
Well, my conscience got the best of me and I thought to myself, maybe I could help or maybe it's somebody I know because it's an area I'm well familiar with and I have family members and friends all over the place. So I took the next crossover and made the turnaround. But by that, then I pulled over to the side of the road and there was multiple people already there at the scene helping out.
And so there's, you said you took a different crossover that was
Correct.
past the scene.
Mhm.
So that means sort of like you turned around and came back.
Correct.
And so would that indicate that you were heading south then on 181?
Yes,
And where did you end up parking then, when you came back
just off the shoulder near the accident.
near that?
Mhm.
And did you ever approach the vehicles at that point?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever talk to, individuals that were involved in the wreck?
No,
And did you leave the location then, or did you wait for, police to arrive?
I waited for authorities.
And so you felt like you needed to stay. Why did you stay?
Somebody deserved justice.
And so you stayed and you spoke with the police that day?
Yes,
You gave a statement that day,
yes,
and you actually gave a written statement.
yes, I did.
And it's a short written statement. Is that accurate to say?
Yes,
Now, was that out at the scene?
at the scene, correct?
And then after you gave that statement, were you free to leave then?
Yes,
And how long can you just roughly say, how long did you stay at the scene?
I'd say about 30, 45 minutes.
And that's when you spoke to the police and also gave your written statement?
Yes,
I'm gonna show you what's been marked state exhibit number 2. If you can just view the screen, if you can't see it on that screen, you can turn and look to your back right shoulder to see it, if you can see it better. Sure, see, I'm gonna ask you if you can point out when you see your vehicle.
that's it. That's me.
Okay, we're pausing it at 19 seconds on the video player. So you're stating that's your vehicle, the black, well, I can indicate that it's a black truck, is that right?
Black Toyota Tacoma.
A black Toyota Tacoma,
Yes, sir.
okay, and so we can see from the video that it's just seconds after this wreck happens, is that right?
Correct.
And then that's where you indicate that you pass through and then you come back and park on the other side of the highway.
Well, I parked on the same side
Okay,
that I came around.
okay, came all back
Mhm.
around, okay. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Defense?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Garcia, you would agree with me that you didn't see the accident happen, correct?
I turned away for a split second.
So let's be clear. You say you turned away. You say earlier you were going 65 miles an hour when you claimed that the silver Cadillac passes you, correct?
Correct.
Going at a high rate of speed,
Yes,
and that you then slow down. You claim at that particular point you're going 65 miles an hour. Yes,
yes.
cruising, and that you slow down.
I slowed down as soon as I got to the scene of the accident.
Okay, so you didn't slow down when you saw him go past you or the Cadillac go past you. You're still going 65 miles an hour.
Yes,
All right. And you say that you looked away and didn't see the accident actually occur.
I didn't see the impact, correct?
Did you see the black car driving into the road?
No,
Okay, so you didn't, was it out of your line of sight because of the hills?
no, if I was paying attention, I would have saw it.
Okay, so then you had a direct line of vision the entire time, from the time the silver Cadillac passes you to the time of the accident, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you can't say what the black car to the right that you saw come out of the parking lot and cross the road. You didn't see where that car was sitting before it started this video, did you?
It happened that fast.
So my question is, did you see the black car in the restaurant parking lot while you were driving on Highway 181?
No, I didn't, but it's on video.
And I appreciate that. But you didn't see that black car at any point until after the accident.
Correct.
All right, and then let me ask you, you said that you saw the silver Cadillac. Did you see a red pickup behind you?
Yes,
Okay. And do you recall whether you could see that red pickup the entire time?
it was a female driving.
Well, was that red pickup in front of you or behind you?
I believe it was behind me,
I think it was behind you.
I believe.
And so you, at the time you were driving, you wouldn't have known whether it was a female or a male, correct?
The driver of the pickup?
Yes.
Female, I believe.
Well, now, have you ever testified before?
No,
Okay, so when I ask a question, I need you to listen to the question I'm asking and answer that question. Okay?
okay,
Now, when you're driving, before you get to the accident, you claim that the red pickup is driving behind you, correct?
I believe.
Okay. And at that particular point, while you're still driving, you cannot tell whether the person in the red truck is a female or a male, correct? You only learn that once you get to the scene and get out and stand with the person that is driving the red pickup truck, correct?
Don't recall ever talking to anyone. At
Did-
that time.
Do you recall giving the officer your driver's license?
Yes,
And do you recall the officer gathering you together with the other drivers to hand out y'all's statement?
yes,
Okay. And so do you recall y'all standing around and everyone, whether you said anything, do you recall them discussing the situation?
no,
You don't?
no,
Okay. All right. And you say that the silver Cadillac passes you at that railroad bridge.
right before.
I passed the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
By the state, excuse, Your Honor.
Yes, by the defense.
All right, thank you. You may step down. If you'll remove the microphone, please. All right, State, you may call your next witness.
Can we just have one moment?
Yes.
Judge, the state calls Carlos Dominguez Jr.
All right, you'll take a seat here, please. You don't mind just putting this on your shirt? So the court reporter can hear us, and then just speak into this microphone. All right, if you could raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so that members of the jury can hear. If you could state your name for the record.
Carlos Dominguez Jr.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dominguez, can you just introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Yes, my name is Carlos Dominguez Jr. My dad was Carlos Dominguez Sr.
And let me ask you, where do you currently live?
I live just in the northwest side of San Antonio, close to Castro.
And how long have you lived in that location?
Going on 11 years.
And so back in 2022, you were living at that location.
Correct.
And obviously you stated that Carlos Dominguez Sr. is your father, is that correct?
Correct.
And that's the individual that is the deceased individual associated with this case, is that correct?
Correct.
And you recall, how old was your father when this wreck happened?
87.
87?
Yeah.
And can you please just describe to the jury, well, one, did you have a lot of contact with your father at that time?
We had been playing golf, and it's been about 3 to 4 years that I had retired completely. And I started just maybe 2, 3 times a week we'd get together to go play golf, you know. So
Well, I'm sorry, let me stop you right there. And let me ask you this. You stated that you played golf 2 or 3 times a week. Is that right?
correct,
And you had retired for 3 years previously.
yes.
Well, one, what did you retire from?
Well, I'm military retired. I put 36 years in the military, and then I went out to the oil field. I was a safety manager in the oil field for about 3 years, and they were,
Object to relevance.
All right, that'll be overruled.
And as you stated that you did some work at the oil fields for 3 or
yes, I
4
was
years.
a safety manager for about a little over 3 years, and then there was a reduction in force. So you know, I was one of the highest paid, so they kind of let me go and my partner, you know.
Well, let me ask you this. You said that you were retired from the military. What about your father?
My dad was Air Force retired 30 years.
Relevance.
That'll be sustained.
Well, let me ask you this. Was your father retired?
Yes.
Okay. And how long had he been retired?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Relevancy.
Your Honor, defense is bringing up the fact that this individual, well, in her opening, suicidal. I'm trying to get a background on him to see how his life was. So I think it's very pertinent.
All right, that objection will be overruled.
So how long had your father been retired?
I wanna say maybe 15 years. No, on or about 15 years.
So on or about 15 years, and he's 87 now, or at the time of his death, he was 87. Can you describe to the jury, one, how was he on day-to-day life?
He was an active individual. We had lost my mom back in 2010, and then my dad just, you know, he just kept on going. You know, he played more golf at that time, you know, and about 3 or 4 years later, after my mom passed away, he met this lady friend of his, and they would go out dancing. They would go out to dinner, to the movies, and then you know, he was very active, you know.
And to up until 2022, at the date of his death, was he active in those years?
Oh, yeah. He would run the golf group that I run now, because the guys told me that if I would, you know, continue his legacy. And he had about roughly about 24, 25 super seniors that we'd all play golf together, you know. And it was every Tuesday, and then he would play with the group that I'm with. He would play with us, and then he had other friends that he would play golf also with.
And January 25th, 2022, that's a Tuesday, wasn't it?
Correct.
And so you stated earlier to the jury that you play golf 2 to 3 times a week. What about your father?
It's about the same, because we would almost play with the same groups, you know.
And so on this January 25th, 2022, the day of this incident, did y'all play golf?
Yes, we played at Northern Hills Golf Course,
Mhm.
and it happened to be that, you know, that was, the guys were asking him, "Hey man, no, what's going on, man?" I say, "You never shot that good, you know." Because my dad, most of the time, he shot, you know, high 90s. That day, he shot an 87.
Mhm.
I mean, he was on it that day, you know. So, you know, I was even surprised, you know. And then after we finished, like I would tell him every Tuesday, "Hey, Dad, when you get home, call me just so I can make sure that you get home safe," you know,
Mhm.
because he would drive to Florida, you know, back and forth, you know. So, and he did that for over 25 years, you know. So, you know, because my grandparents gave my mom property down
Objection,
there.
non-responsive.
That'll be overruled.
So let me ask you this. You said your father at this time on January 25th, 2022, did he live, where did he live at?
In Floresville.
And so is that, obviously outside of San Antonio, is that correct? And, how do you get there from San Antonio? As
From
in
San
highway.
Antonio, it's a 181.
And so you stated that how long he lived in Floresville at that location?
Now, I think it was roughly about 25 years.
So for 25 years, did he make the travels on Highway 181?
Yeah.
And from the location he lived at to San Antonio to meet you or gather for golfing and things of that nature?
No, on a daily basis, when we play golf, we're looking at about maybe 90 to 100 miles round trip, depending on where we would play golf, what golf courses.
And he would drive himself.
Correct.
And I guess at times, would y'all like team up and drive together?
No, he was on his own. Because he lived in Floresville, I lived in San Antonio, so we all meet at the golf course,
And in Floresville, did he live at a house or apartment or?
Yeah, he had a mobile home there in Floresville, and he was there by himself since 2010, after my mom deceased. And then, he had been there by himself.
And since it's brought up, can you describe just his physical abilities at this time, his physical abilities?
His physical ability, I mean, he had 2 acres out there that he would go out there and most of the time cut the yard and everything. And I would tell him, I say, hey, when you're out there on the riding lawnmower and everything, make sure you got your phone, because there's snakes out there and everything.
Been non-responsive.
Overruled.
You can answer.
I say, if something happens to you, at least you got the phone, call me. He'd be out there weed eating, and we would tell him, hey, why don't you call us? Me and my brother can go out there, He'd say, hey, I got it, but that's 2 acres, but sometimes he'd cut in the morning before the sun get out, and then he'd wait until late in the evening to go out there and finish it off, And he would overhaul his riding lawnmowers when they would break down. That he was a mechanic, so that's what he would do,
So he physically, he was a very abled 80-plus-year-old.
Yes.
Objection, leading.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor.
Right. If you'll rephrase.
How abled was your 87-year-old father at that time?
He was up and going,
And then what about his mental clarity? Can you describe to the jury his mental clarity?
Very cocky. He's a cocky individual, and he was very stern, even at my age. I would, sometimes I would need correction, and he'd take care of it,
And so, what about, do you know about any type of medical issues that your father had, if you have personal knowledge?
The only thing that I know that he was taking almost the same medication I was taking, high blood pressure and for high cholesterol. That's the only 2 that I'm aware of.
And so, going back to January 25th, 2022, obviously that day sticks out in your mind. You stated that y'all played golf what time did y'all play golf roughly?
I think tea time was something like 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock.
And then we'll tell you how long would a golf game last for y'all? How many individuals would be playing golf with y'all?
I think we had 5 foursomes.
So 5 foursomes, that's 20 people.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a group.
Yes, it's a group.
And what's the name of the group?
Dominguez Golf Group.
And it's comprised of individuals' friends, or is it comprised of?
Friends, and they're all friends. We're all military retired, civilian retirees,
And so, how long would y'all play for, or how long would that last?
It probably, my dad always put himself on the first foursome, and it'd probably be 4.5, 5 hours, and then we would have to sit and wait until everybody comes in, so we can pick up the golf carts and everything, so we can collect them, so we can turn them into this individual that we have that does our handicap for us, So we would have to sit there. So really 4, 5, 6, it would take a while for these guys, depending on how fast the other groups will finish.
So 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. And after, on this particular day, did your father drive himself to the golf course that day?
Yes,
And did he leave the golf course that day?
yes,
Driving himself?
yes.
And for one, did you ever see your father after that?
No,
And you recall where, if you know, that where he was going after golfing?
he had, just like I told you, said, you know, hey, dad, call me. He said, well, I'm gonna stop and give him something to eat, and then I'm gonna hit to the house. Most of the time, all the senior citizens would get together and they would all go eat together. But that day, they all had appointments, so they had something to do, so nobody went to go eat. So that took off.
And you obviously know where this accident or this incident happened.
Yes,
Is that restaurant out there, is that a restaurant that your dad would frequent?
that I don't know.
Okay. And I'm gonna show you what's marked state exhibit number 7, sir. And we need to do this just for identifying purposes, okay? I'm gonna ask you, state exhibit number 7, do you recognize that individual in that picture?
Yes,
And who is that individual?
my father.
Is that Carlos Dominguez?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about your father additionally. What, was your father suicidal?
No, in no way.
Did he enjoy his life?
Tremendously. He loved out dancing, playing golf, you know, with his great grandkids. His great grandkids were everything.
So he had friends and family to live for.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Dominguez. We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
thank you.
All right, defense.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So, do you recall meeting with the state of Texas on or about January 17th, 2024?
January 2024?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
In particular, you met with a prosecutor by the name of Daniel Escobar, correct?
yes,
All right. And at that time, you informed Mr. Escobar that you were going through papers at your dad's residence, correct?
correct.
And you had learned that he had stage 4, you claim liver disease.
Not liver disease.
Okay. What did he have?
It was kidney disease.
And you were unaware of that until you read those papers, correct?
Correct.
And you also learned after that that he had refused treatment for that stage 4 kidney disease, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, were you aware that your dad was having difficulty with frequent urination?
Nope.
Were you aware, you said that you know of 2 medications that he had been prescribed. Were you aware that he was also prescribed muscle relaxers?
No,
And that, are you aware that he did see his personal physician just the day before he passed away?
no,
Are you aware that he filled out documents indicating that he didn't have any community support?
any what?
Community support.
No, I was not aware.
Then also, I wanted to ask, you said that he was dating someone else after your mom.
Correct.
In regards to that person, do you know if he was still dating her or not?
Yes.
Okay. And what is her name?
Dora,
What is her last name?
that I don't know.
How long had he been dating her?
I'm gonna say maybe 2 years, I think.
All right. So how long of a drive is it? Do you remember which golf course you claimed to have been at that morning?
Northern Hills.
Northern Hills. And did you see your dad drive off?
Yes.
And you know, you say you don't know what time he left?
No, I can't, I don't recall. It was about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. I don't know, somewhere around that time.
So how far is it from Northern Hills to the restaurant La Candera?
Uh,
Well, may have mispronounced the
yeah,
name, but
I don't know, it's probably 45-minute drive on or about, depending on traffic.
and how often have you been with your dad and Dora?
With me,
Yeah, how many times?
we got together maybe about 4 or 5 times for birthday parties for the grandkids.
Okay. And did Dora live with him?
No,
Have you spoken with Dora since your dad's passing?
the last time we spoke to her was at the funeral.
So you did see her at the funeral,
Yes,
but since the funeral, you haven't spoken with her.
no.
Who was your father's medical power of attorney?
I think was, you talk about the doctor that he was seeing?
No, sir. A medical power of attorney is someone who can sign medical releases for that person if they're incapacitated, for instance.
Your Honor, I'm just gonna object to relevance.
Relevancy.
Specifying.
Your Honor, it is relevant because it goes to whether or not he was aware of what his true dad, like who would be aware of his dad's situation.
All right,
medical situation.
you can ask him the question on whether he knows, but as far as the your explanation of what a power of attorney is, that will be sustained.
Are you aware of anyone who would have been involved with your father's medical care?
He never told us.
Okay. Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
Overruled.
My question is, were you aware, not somebody else, were you aware of who was responsible for your dad's medical care?
No,
And you never took it upon yourself to ask anyone who's taking care of dad medically?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
All right, I pass the witness.
No further questions and released by the state, Your Honor.
I'd like him held on recall.
All right. So either party may decide to recall. You just make sure that you're available. You may remove your microphone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a 15-minute break. These are the court's instructions. I'm going to give them to you a lot at the break, but because I want you to memorize them. You are not allowed to discuss this case and what you're hearing with anyone. You're not allowed to view anything about this case. You're not allowed to start deliberating about this case. Everything that you to know about this case is to come from inside this courtroom and nowhere else. Does everyone understand?
Yes, sir.
And do not think about this case outside the courtroom, okay? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 007016, State versus Eric Michael De La Garza. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record?
Duffy Whitlock for the state of Texas, Your Honor. Brendan Logan for the defense.
And are you Mr. De La Garza? Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. De La Garza, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading?
We do it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state is waiving and abandoning count one, proceeding only on count two. The state is also waiving and abandoning the habitual enhanced allegation.
Any objection?
No objection.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? In count two, you're charged with evading arrest, detention as a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does that.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. De La Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count two, waiving counts one and the enhancement paragraphs. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 8 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications, and there's to be $60 payable to the Bexar County Lab for testing. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense in count two, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
State offers states exhibit one and all attachments, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits one and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits one and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Please, that's follow through, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 8 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $60 restitution to the Bexar County Laboratory for testing, and I'll request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, You do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, off the record. So how old are you? All right, so here's the thing. Your life up until this point, it's been chaos, right? It appears that you're in and out of jail, in and out of custody, and you keep running from the police. And I understand with this case, there are some drug issues that were involved. So you can stop all of this chaos, do the therapeutic community requested at the state jail facility, and when you're released, if you can't find a place to help you maintain your sobriety, if you can't find a place that can provide you with a sober living transitional housing, if I'm still here, you come back here, I will pick up the phone and call somebody to get you help, because otherwise this is not going to end well for you. Either you're going to run from the police, and on this, it says that you ran your bicycle into the back of the police car. That's what they're saying. Yeah, I know, right? That's what they're saying. I'm just going by the police. I understand. But that's what they're saying in the police report. So either way, this could have turned out very bad for you. And, you know, the last time you use may end up being the last time you use. So you're going to have to make changes. Is your mom still alive? All right. And is she a good mom?
She cool. I was actually helping her when I got out.
All right. So here's the thing. Do you have any children? All right. So if you want them to look up to you and be a better person, you got to stop doing this. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Okay. All right. You too. Thank you. Thank you.
Who knows if we have any other keys lined up?
No, we don't. We have one case. All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
State calls Dr. Train.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear. And if you'll state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, please.
I'm Dr. Diane Trang. Trang is spelled Trang.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Dr. Train, how are you presently employed?
I'm the interim chief medical examiner at Nueces County in Corpus Christi, Texas.
And how long have you worked with the Nueces County Medical Examiner's Office?
About 2 years.
What are your duties as interim chief of medical examiners with Nueces County?
I oversee death inquests, which include going to scenes of death, investigating, asking circumstances about the death, doing examinations, including external examinations or autopsies, reviewing toxicology, and then writing the actual autopsy report.
Can you please describe what is your educational background that qualifies you in the field of medical pathology?
Yes, I did.
Just briefly, can I ask that she put the microphone closer?
Sure.
It's hard for me to hear.
Sorry.
Sure.
Is this better?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. I have a bachelor's of science in biology at the University of Texas at Arlington. After that, I went on to medical school. It was at Ross University School of Medicine. I then went on to do a 4-year pathology training in anatomic and clinical pathology, and then a forensic fellowship at the UT Health Science Center at Bexar County. I am boarded in anatomic and forensic pathology, and I'm licensed to practice medicine in the state of Texas.
And other than that, do you have any additional professional training that further qualifies you?
Well, that is it.
Okay. And then I guess just in the course of the education that you described while you were during your time as a fellow, were you performing autopsies at that time?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And where was that at?
In the Bexar County office in San Antonio.
And can you just describe that fellowship program to the jury, please?
Yes, so it's a 1-year training in forensic pathology where I'm supervised by the doctors there while I perform examinations.
And can you explain to the jury what forensic pathology is?
Yes, forensic pathology is a field of pathology where we specialize in the cause and manner of death.
And how long were you employed as a fellow with the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office?
For 1 year.
And what were your duties during that time?
Reviewing cases, reviewing the investigative report, doing examinations, reviewing toxicology, and writing the reports.
Okay. And during that time, did you further perform autopsies for the Bexar County ME's office?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury what an autopsy is?
So an autopsy is where the forensic pathologists will look at the body from outside, so an external examination. We describe if we see any scars, tattoos, unique facial features, of course, any trauma to the body, and then we'll go further inside and do an internal examination where we open up the body and examine the organs.
And can you explain to the jury what the different manners of death are?
In Texas, there are 5 manners of death. The first is natural, which of course is when you die from a natural disease like a heart attack or pneumonia or cancer, that would be considered a natural death. The next manner is an accident. Those deaths are what they sound like, accidents, mostly motor vehicles and drug deaths. Then we have suicides, where those deaths are where the decedent intentionally performed the act to kill themselves. And then we have homicides, where it's death by another person's hand. And then we have undetermined, where the medical examiner cannot determine the cause of death, or sorry, the manner of death.
Okay. And approximately how many autopsies have you performed in your career?
Approximately 800.
And have you previously testified in this area?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you about an autopsy that you performed did you perform an autopsy on January 26th of 2022 on Carlos Dominguez?
Yes.
And do you know what age he was?
He, at the time of the examination, he was 87,
Okay, and what's his assigned sex?
male.
And can you explain to the jury the condition in which you received the body?
Yes, so he was in a sealed body bag upon a white sheet, and it was a normally developed, well-nourished male. He had clothing and property on him.
And, Your Honor, I need to ask, looks like she's reading from something or referring to something in front of her.
So is there an objection?
Yeah, there's objection, because I'd like to see what's in front of her that she's referring to.
All right, state you want to remark, mark what she's referring to?
Yes. Okay, I'm showing you what has been marked for identification purposes only as State's Exhibit B. You can approach and come look at it if you'd like.
Asking him a different question.
Okay, y'all can both take a look at that, please. Is State's Exhibit B a fair and accurate depiction, or let me back up. At the time that you performed the autopsy on January 26th of 2022, did you write a report that reflected your findings?
Yes.
Okay, and did you sign that report?
Yes, I did.
And have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit B?
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and attach that. If you could just please look at those last two pages. Okay, and so does State's Exhibit B, is that a fair and accurate depiction of your findings at the time that you conducted the autopsy?
Yes.
And would it help you refresh your memory if you are not able to recall specific details due to this being a 2022 case?
Yes.
Okay, now you can refresh your memory from this, just please don't read directly from it.
Okay.
Thank you. And just to be clear, State's Exhibit B, you brought your own copies of that, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And is that what you were looking at when defense counsel pointed out that you were looking at something?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, moving on. You were describing the condition with which you received the body, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, you may continue.
So that was a general external examination, and then I go on to describe any traumatic injuries I see on the external.
And then just regarding, you stated that you received the body and clothing, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know anything specific in the jeans that the decedent was wearing?
There was a black wallet that was clipped onto the jeans, which contained a broken cell phone.
Okay.
And the wallet contained various cards and some money.
Okay, and then in paragraph 2 of your report regarding the pockets of the clothing, what was contained within the pockets?
Some cash, some bills, a comb, some golf paraphernalia, and some keys.
Okay. And once you receive a body at the medical examiner's office, is it assigned a unique identifier that stays with it throughout the process, the autopsy process?
Yes, the body is assigned a unique case number.
Okay. What was the unique case number that was assigned to Carlos Dominguez?
His case number was 2022-0247.
Okay. And so upon receiving the body, then what did you do?
I did the external examination.
Okay. And regarding the external examination, did you note any injuries?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was there an injury to the left clavicle on the external?
Yes, I noted 2 abrasions. Abrasions are scratches.
And what about the mid neck?
There was another abrasion there too.
Okay. What about the trunk?
I noted a pattern impression across the trunk.
And the trunk, just so the jury is aware, where is that located on the body?
The trunk includes the chest and abdomen.
And what about the lower right abdomen?
There was another abrasion there.
And the mid lower abdomen?
Also another abrasion.
The left fifth finger?
Another abrasion.
The left fourth finger?
There was a laceration there. A laceration is a tear.
The left second finger?
Another tear.
The right hip?
There were abrasions across the right hip.
The medial right leg?
I noted a laceration there.
And what does medial mean, just for jury?
Medial means the inside, so the inside of the leg.
The medial left thigh?
Another abrasion.
The medial left leg?
I saw scattered blue contusions, which are bruises.
Okay. And then did you make any note of injuries to the medial and lateral aspects of the left foot?
There were also bruises there too.
And what about the left ankle?
There were abrasions there.
And upon manipulation, did you discover anything regarding the left ankle?
Yes, it was dislocated.
Okay. Now, when you conduct this external examination, do you photograph the injuries that we've gone over and that were notated in your report?
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 7 through 19. If you could please take a look at that and let me know if you recognize them.
Yes, these were photos taken during the examination.
Okay, and do they appear to be fair and accurate depictions of the photos that you took at that time?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, the state offers State Exhibit 7 through 19 and tendering the same to defense for inspection.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
And can you just explain to the jury what that is?
Yeah, so this is what we call a profile picture. It associates the decedent with the unique case number.
Okay, and that is 2022-0247, which you previously testified to.
Yes.
Okay. And then state's exhibit number 8, what are we viewing?
This is the sealed body bag that the decedent was brought into the office with. It notates the unique case number, the decedent's weight, and then the seal tag.
Okay, and then what is this yellow thing that is contained within state's exhibit number 8?
It's a sealed body bag tag so that it's not able to be opened again.
And state's exhibit number 9.
So this is showing the wristbands, which is inscribed with the decedent's name and again, the unique case number.
State's exhibit number 10.
These are clean photos of the decedent. You can see the abrasion that I was talking about on the left clavicle. Yes.
Okay. And then do you note any injuries down in this area?
Yes. Yes, you can see the abrasions across the left hip there, and then on the lower abdomen there. Yes.
Okay. And this,
That is the umbilicus.
okay. And are you able, is this what I'm pointing to right here? Is that the injury that you notated regarding the trunk?
Yes, this is the pattern impression across the trunk.
State's exhibit number 11, what is depicted?
So that's just a close-up photo of the abrasion across the left clavicle.
State's exhibit number 12.
This is another photo showing the pattern impression across the trunk.
And state's exhibit number 13.
This is a close-up photo of the abrasions across the right hip.
State's exhibit number 14.
Yes. That's a photo of where you can see the laceration on the medial aspect or the inside of the right leg.
Okay, and then state's exhibit number 15.
In this photo, you can see some of the scattered blue contusions around the right leg.
Okay. State's exhibit 16.
This is another close-up photo of the laceration to the medial right leg.
Okay. State's exhibit 17.
This is a close-up photo of abrasions to the medial, I believe, left ankle.
Okay. State's exhibit number 18.
This is a photo of the left hand showing an injury there on the knuckle.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit number 19.
This is a photo of the left hand showing the lacerations to the tip of the fingers.
Okay. Thank you. Now, after you're done with your external examination, what is the next part of the process?
We do the internal examination.
Okay. And did you document any internal injuries to the decedent in this case?
Yes.
Okay, so starting with the head, did you notate any injuries in the head area?
Yes, there was deep scalp hemorrhage.
And what is a hemorrhage?
Hemorrhage is blood bleeding into the soft tissue.
Okay. Regarding the heart, did you notate any injuries?
Yes, the pericardial sac, which is where the heart sits in, that was torn, and the heart was almost completely lacerated in half.
Did you notate any injuries regarding the pleural cavities?
There was blood in the pleural cavities.
What about the lungs?
The lungs had lacerations and contusions, again, tears and bruises.
What about the ribs?
All the ribs were fractured in multiple places.
What about the hemidiaphragm and stomach areas?
So the diaphragm is a large muscle that separates your chest cavity from your abdominal cavity. And there's two sides, the left and the right. So the left side was lacerated away, and the stomach was able to herniate into the chest cavity.
What about the spine?
The spine was completely fractured at the level of T2.
What about the liver?
The liver also had lacerations.
What about the spleen?
The spleen also had lacerations.
What about the peritoneal cavity?
There was hemorrhage in the peritoneal cavity.
And the peripancreatic area?
There was hemorrhage around there.
And did you note anything regarding the pelvic bone area?
There were multiple fractures of the pelvic bone.
Okay. And in your training experience, have you previously examined bodies where the decedent suffered injuries inflicted by a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, and so in your training experience, what are these injuries that were previously described consistent with?
They're consistent with blunt force injuries.
Okay. And did you make any notable findings regarding the decedent's kidneys?
So the surface of the kidney should typically be smooth. In the decedent's case, they were granular, coarsely granular.
Okay. Now, during the autopsy, aside from the catastrophic injuries that you earlier described, did you find any evidence of disease that would prevent the decedent from living at the time of the crash?
The decedent had a larger than normal heart. The upper limit of normal in a male is 400 grams. His heart was 430 grams. And he also had significant atherosclerotic plaques in one of his major coronary arteries, which would predispose him to a sudden cardiac event, like a heart attack.
Okay. And in your findings, did you determine that he suffered any type of cardiac event at the time of the crash?
No.
And how are you able to tell that?
I didn't see any signs of a cardiac event in the heart.
Okay. And what does the soft tissue hemorrhaging that you notated in your findings, what does that indicate to you?
That indicates to me that the organs were functional at the time of injury.
Okay. And what about vital reaction? Does that have any significance to you?
Yes, so the vital reaction is the same. It's when there's hemorrhage around, it's telling me that the organs were functional at the time of the injuries.
Okay. And so in your medical opinion, you stated the decedent suffered blunt force injuries, is that correct?
Correct.
And in your findings and your training experience and as your opinion, what is your belief regarding the injuries that he sustained?
The cause of death was blunt force injuries.
Okay. And in your opinion, were those injuries alone sufficient to cause?
Yes.
Okay. Now was toxicology performed on the decedent?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just explain to the jury if you know what this process looks like?
Yes. So in most all cases, we do run toxicology on decedents just to see if there's any drugs in the system.
Okay. And I guess do you guys take the blood sample and liquid behind the eye to do that?
Yes. We take the fluid in the eye, the vitreous humor. We take blood from the body, and we take urine.
Okay. And you reviewed the toxicology in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And were there any illegal drugs that were found in the system of the decedent?
None that were detected.
Okay. And now was a full panel conducted on the decedent or no?
Yes, a full panel.
Okay, and does that test for alkaline and non-alkaline drugs?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any positive things that popped up in the toxicology?
They detected diphenhydramine, which is Benadryl, but it was detected less than the limit of quantitation.
And what does that mean?
It was detected at a smaller amount that we quantify.
Okay. And just regarding Benadryl, is there a therapeutic range for that drug?
Yes, there is.
Okay, do you recall what that is?
According to Dr. Molina's textbook, the Handbook of Forensic Toxicology for Medical Examiners, the therapeutic range in blood is 0.004 to 3.8 milligrams per liter.
Okay. And in this case, it was reported as a 0.035, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And just, can you explain to the jury what the therapeutic range is?
So therapeutic range is what the data and evidence has shown to be the safe range for a drug to be administered at.
Okay. And now, what were your findings as to the manner of death of Carlos Dominguez?
I ruled the manner of death as accident.
Okay. And when you say accident, is that like a term of art within your field, or can you explain that to the jury?
Yes, it's an epidemiological term that we use.
Okay. And so in making your determinations, you confine your consideration to the examination of the body itself, or do you also receive information from the investigating agency that's handling the investigation?
We also take in consideration investigative information from other agencies.
And would that include law enforcement agencies?
Yes.
Okay. And so hypothetically, had you received a decedent that had the same injuries, but facts were relayed to you through the law enforcement agency that it was an intentional act, would that have changed the cause or manner of death, excuse me?
Yes, if there was enough evidence for me.
Okay. And so in this case, if the law enforcement agency didn't have a reason to believe that there was any intentional act on the part of the defendant, would that factor into your manner of death?
Yes.
Okay. And based on your autopsy, do you have an opinion as to the cause of death of Carlos Dominguez?
Yes, the cause of death was blunt force injuries.
Okay. Now, as a medical examiner in your time here in Bexar County and then also in Nueces County, is it standard practice for medical examiners to request medical records of decedents?
No, we only request them if we need to.
Okay. And so there's been some mention in this case that the decedent had chronic kidney disease. Were you aware of that?
Not at the time of examination.
Okay. And so now that you're aware of that, would that change your opinion in any way?
No.
There's previously been some mention that the decedent was or prescribed muscle relaxers. And viewing the toxicology examination or report, was that reflected in the findings of that?
No, we only detected diphenhydramine.
Okay, and so if it was true that the decedent did have a prescription for muscle relaxers or was taking muscle relaxers, would that have changed your opinion at all?
No,
Okay. And then the diphenhydramine, we've already gone over that, but would that change your opinion at all?
no,
Okay. If you were made aware that the decedent had high blood pressure or was struggling with gout or frequent urination, would that have changed your opinion at all?
no,
Okay. And in your investigation, did you find any signs that indicated suicide?
none that was reported to me.
Okay. And now, because you're employed with the Nueces County Medical Examiner's Office and no longer here in Bear County, is it true that you charge a fee now to come back and testify?
Yes,
Okay, and so the District Attorney's Office did have to pay you to come in and testify today, is that correct?
yes,
And did that have any bearing on your testimony or findings?
no,
We pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, thank you. So,
Turn your mic on. No, that one's fine.
The one that's on the desk.
it's on.
Oh, okay. You just. Didn't you hear me? Or who's asking? Me.
So let me go back and ask a little bit more about your credentials. Do you have a resume or a curriculum vitae?
Yeah. yes, but not on me currently.
Okay, would you mind emailing that to me afterwards?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now, let's go through you say, what are your actual credentials as far as being a forensic pathologist? Are there multiple, facets to becoming a forensic pathologist?
Yes, I graduated medical school, so I'm a doctor. I have a board certification in anatomic pathology and forensic pathology.
Okay, and so let's break that down. So you have anatomic
Yes, pathology.
pathology, and then you also have forensic
Forensic pathology.
pathology. What is the difference?
Anatomic is more general and forensic is specialized.
Okay, like give me an example.
Family is more general, and then a cardiothoracic surgeon would be more specialty.
But in regards to anatomic pathology, what would an anatomic pathologist do that a forensic pathologist would not?
I see. They would read and evaluate biopsies and gross specimens.
The anatomic would just read and
Yes,
interpret?
and sometimes they also grow specimens.
And basically, they would look under a microscope?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And forensic pathologists, what do they do?
They are specialized in cause and manner of death.
Okay. And what other qualifications? You say you have those two. Do you have any in toxicology?
No,
All right. And at the time, are there any other qualifications that I've missed?
I do have a Texas medical license.
Okay. And when did you get your Texas medical license?
It would have been during residency, maybe. I had a physician training permit, and then I had a physician's license. So during residency, I would have had the physician training permit, and then after residency, I would have the medical license. So probably around 2020 or 2021. I don't know the exact date.
Okay, so 2020 or 2021, you had a medical license. When did you get your anatomic pathologist?
That's a board certification. I would have had to take a test, and then once I passed the test, I would have gotten the certification.
When did you take that?
Probably 2019.
And your forensic pathologist?
That would have been in 2022.
Did you have your forensic pathologist license when you did this autopsy?
I don't know the exact date. We take the test during our fellowship, and then we find out after our fellowship if we pass or not.
Okay, so it's fair to say that when you were doing the autopsy, though, you did not have the board certification at that time.
I believe so.
Okay.
Not in forensics.
All right. And now let's talk about cause and manner of death. Now, when you say that there's, I guess, 5 manners that you have in Texas that are recognized: the natural, accident, suicide, homicide, undetermined.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Now, is it possible that there can be an event that didn't necessarily, it either coincides or it happens right beforehand, that didn't necessarily cause the death, but contributed to the death?
Yes.
Okay, like for instance, if someone had a heart attack, cardiac arrest, and fell into a pool, would it be the drowning that would be, I guess, the cause of death?
Yes, ma'am. The drowning would have been the cause of death.
Even though there had been a cardiac arrest, the drowning would be what you would find as the cause.
Right.
Okay. And so, and in regards, so that's the cause. So, there can be circumstances that exist that aren't necessarily going to be incorporated into the cause. Like for instance, in this case, you said it was blunt force trauma.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because in your opinion, you state that it was the blunt force that caused the actual death.
Yes.
All right. But in regards to manner, that's different, because now you're looking, the cause is science, right? You're looking purely at the science of it. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And then manner, it takes into account not only what you're seeing scientifically, but it also takes into account what you're seeing or what you've been told about the investigation.
Right. The circumstances around the death.
Okay. And if circumstances are withheld from you, then that would potentially affect the accuracy of your determination of the manner of death.
Correct.
Okay. So let's back up and were you aware that the Bexar County Medical Office was on probation while you were there?
Probation for what?
That the office itself was in probationary status?
No.
Okay. So you were not aware that Dr. Molina was seeking funds for more
I'm gonna
doctors?
object as to this line of questioning regarding the relevance. The witness does not have personal knowledge, as she stated. She was not even aware that they were on probation. And so I'm objecting to that.
All right, the objection will be sustained.
Your Honor, I'm asking a different question.
The objection with regards to the Bexar County lab, I believe the witness said that she was unaware.
As to that question, I'm asking a different question.
All right, ask your next question.
Thank you. So were you aware that Dr. Kimberly Molina is the chief medical examiner in Bexar County
Yes.
Medical Examiner's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you aware at that time that she was looking for other forensic pathologists because they were short-staffed?
No, I was not aware.
All right. Now let's talk about 2022 was after COVID, correct?
Yes.
And you were just in fellowship, so you were being observed by, or someone was overseeing your work.
Correct.
Who was that?
In this case, it was Dr. Five.
Okay. Now, by overseeing it, does he just look at your notes, or was he physically with you when you were doing your autopsy?
He was there during the examination.
And would you agree with me that as the medical examiner, you get to decide what is relevant and necessary to collect as evidence in the autopsy?
Yes.
And that changes depending on the circumstances of the death.
Yes.
And so some deaths may look more obvious and be more obvious than others, correct?
Yes.
Now, in this case, let's talk about what you preserved and what you gathered. Did you obtain any slicings or cuttings from any of the organs in the body?
Yes, it's standard practice for all autopsies. We take a portion of the organs for us.
And you did it in this autopsy?
Yes.
If you did it in this autopsy, did any of them get evaluated?
Like microscopically?
Yes.
No.
Okay. And what organs did you take slides for?
Brain, thyroid, tongue, heart, lungs, liver, spleen, adrenal glands, kidney, prostate.
Okay. But as you pointed out, none of those are documented in your report, correct?
No.
And you're unaware of what those slides would show.
No.
You are aware of?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I wouldn't be aware.
Okay. All right, and you did not request any of the medical records of the deceased in this case, correct?
No, I did not.
And on the panel, you get to do a toxicology report, and you would agree with me that during that, you didn't do any of the metabolic labs.
No.
Okay. And let's talk about metabolic labs. What are those?
They would include ALT, ASP, CMP.
Okay, and I apologize. I don't know what those acronyms mean, so
Yes.
if you can help break it down for me,
Right.
what does ALT mean?
Alkaline transphosphatase enzyme. It would test for liver enzymes, the functions.
Okay. And why would you want to test for something like that?
To evaluate liver function.
Okay, and whether it was functioning correctly or not? And what is the next one that you listed?
AST, I believe.
AST?
Yes,
And
it's
what is
another
that?
enzyme for liver function.
Okay. And what's the next one?
I believe BUN is one of them.
And what does that test for?
That is for kidney function.
And why would you test for that?
To evaluate the kidneys.
And if someone's passed away, why would you need to know if their kidneys are working?
If it contributes to death or not.
Because would you agree with me that you cannot tell whether kidney failure, or if they were functioning or not, can be determined by the naked eye?
Correct.
And what is the other things that you test for?
Creatinine would be one of them. That's another indication of kidney function.
And what else do you test for in metabolic?
I can't really recall any other ones off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. Would you agree with me that metabolic panels also test for sodium,
Yes.
potassium,
Yes.
creatine,
Yes.
chloride,
Yes.
and urea nitrogen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, would you agree with me that these are important to determine, I believe if someone had a cardiac arrest or no?
No, they would order a different test for that.
Okay, and what test would they order for cardiac arrest?
An electrocardiogram.
Can you do an electrocardiogram after someone's dead?
No.
Okay, so it's hard to tell if, oh, how do you determine if someone had, if a cardiac arrest caused someone's death?
You can see if there's any dissection in the coronary arteries.
Dissection?
Yes.
Okay, and what would that be like?
It would look like hemorrhage within the arteries.
Okay, hemorrhage within the artery.
Yes.
And did you take photographs of the heart in this case?
No, I did not.
Okay, do you recall specifically what his heart looked like now that 3 years have passed?
No.
Okay, so would you agree with me that while ago, you stated that there was multiple hemorrhages and damage to the heart?
Yes.
Okay. And based off of that, would you agree with me that it's difficult for anybody in that situation to be able to tell the difference from a damage from a cardiac arrest versus blunt force trauma?
Yes, the blunt force traumas could have cured some natural disease.
Now, a while ago, you, the state asked you if you noticed anything significant about the heart, and you mentioned that there was, well, I want to make sure I say exactly what it is. Significant plaque.
Yes.
All right. But more specifically, you stated in your report that that there's an artery that was 90% blocked.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about what artery that is. What artery?
That's the left anterior descending artery.
Is that also referred to the widowmaker?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because it's the most common one to be blocked.
Okay, and let's talk about, you stated that I'm gonna take us back a little bit. And we were talking about like the sodium, potassium, creatine, chloride, and urine nitrogen that you didn't test for, correct?
Correct.
Now, what if those are off, what does that, could that indicate?
A variety of things, could be kidney disease,
Okay, anything else?
dehydration, diabetic ketoacidosis.
Okay, and speaking of that, you did not test for whether or not he could have had a diabetic episode.
Correct.
Okay, and you have learned that he had kidney disease, correct? And you would agree with me that diabetes is a contributing factor to kidney disease?
Yes.
All right. Now, let's talk about the coarsely granular kidney, the outside of the kidney. And you said it normally is supposed to be smooth, right?
Yes.
And you would agree with me that coarsely granular is an indication of kidney disease?
Yes.
All right. Now, now that you're aware that he had been diagnosed, were you aware at this point that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease?
Yes.
All right. Is that consistent with what you'd observed?
Yes.
Now, would you agree with me that kidney disease, because it can be caused by diabetes, there, let me back up. Let me ask you this question. What happens if a diabetic goes into ketosis?
Their body's unable to utilize the sugars, so they're basically in a state of starvation, and there's an increased amount of acetone.
Okay. And how would their body behave?
Judge, I'm gonna object as to relevance, there's been no indication that the diabetes is relevant in this case.
All right, you'll have to lay the foundation for relevancy.
I just asked you if kidney disease is caused by diabetes is a contributing factor, correct? All right. And so, in understanding that you didn't test for diabetes, correct?
No.
Or ketosis.
If he wasn't diabetic ketoacidosis, the acetones would have shown up.
Okay, did you test for those?
It's part of the panel.
Okay, and which one?
The alcohols panel.
Okay. And do you have the test, the underlying data that goes to that test?
No.
All right. So you can't say whether or not, you're just going off of someone else's telling you, when you look at your toxicology report, would you agree with me that it is the one that you're referring to only has 6 lines?
Yes.
Okay. And so when these items are tested for, there is a whole scientific process of how they're tested, correct? And by looking at this, you did not specifically ask for a glucose test, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. And so that would be an indication, that is something you have to separately request in order for them to test it, correct?
Correct.
And you would agree with me that does not show up here?
No, it does not.
Okay. Now, so also in regards to these, what you said, like these 6 different lines that you asked to be tested. And in fact, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Do you have those marked exhibits? No, it's not. That she was referring to, like a toxicology report. Are they there? All right. Sorry, I want to make sure that we have the marked exhibits. Okay. This one wasn't marked, or is this yours?
That one's, she gave me that one.
Okay. Do y'all have a stapler? May I push the report recorder to make it sticker?
Yes.
I'm showing you what was State's Exhibit B. Is that correct? B?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm showing you what's Defendant's Exhibit 1. Now, looking at those, you would agree these are the reports that you are relying on and that either you're relying on or that you produced personally.
Yes.
Okay. And these are true and accurate representations of your report?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I'm asking that State's Exhibit B and Defendant's Exhibit 1 be admitted, tendering to the state for their review.
No objection.
All right, State's Exhibits B and Defense Exhibit 1 is admitted without objection.
And Your Honor, I'm going to ask to publish to the jury if I can. Okay, so I'm showing you what is the last page of State's Exhibit B. This is the toxicology report, correct?
Correct.
All right. And so that way it's easier, hopefully, for the jury to follow what you're saying. As we pointed out, there are 6 different tests that you requested, but there's several tests that you didn't request, which were the metabolic labs, correct?
Correct.
And the glucose.
Correct.
And then in order to do these, what would you agree with me that you take samples, blood samples or other samples, right? And the type of sample that you take is indicated here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like for the acid slash neutral panel, you did a blood femoral, which is what?
Blood from the femoral.
From the femur?
No, from the femoral artery.
Okay, where is that?
It's, is it okay if I stand up?
Yes.
It's here in the groin,
Okay. And then for alcohols, where does the vitreous come from?
from the eyes.
And then looks like all the rest of them are from the femoral. Okay, so in the panels, if you take blood, you send it off. Then they're supposed to they call them what they test for is called an assay. Is that correct?
An assay, yes.
Assay, and that's spelled ASSAY.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so, would you agree with me that the assay, you have to know what's in the assay in order to tell whether something was tested for or not tested for?
Correct.
All right. And so, without the underlying data in some of these, is specifically like, for instance, the drug screen, you're not going to know if the drug was tested for or not tested for.
Correct. Not from this.
Okay. And so, when you reviewed this, did you go look and see what was tested for in the assay?
No, I did not.
Okay. So, for instance, you would agree with me that right now you couldn't say if like the lab tested for tinzanidine HCl.
No,
Okay. Or Flonase.
no,
Or Asperlo.
no,
Or ProAir HFA.
no.
Okay. Keep going. Bivostat,
No,
pantoprazole,
no,
Tropol XL,
no,
citrazine HCI,
no,
NIFE dipamine ER,
no,
Vinicar,
no,
Crestor,
no,
Uloric,
no,
Olmesartan Mexo. No,
no.
I did not pronounce that right. But how do you pronounce it?
Can I see it?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Let me actually. Apologize. Well, I'll show you this list and then. I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit 2. Do you recognize the names that are listed there as being prescription drugs or over-the-counter
Yes.
drugs? Okay. And after looking at the list on defendant's exhibit 2, I'm going to hand you a pen. Can you mark a check mark next to any of them that you can say for sure that were tested for?
No, I don't know.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm going to show you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit 3. And there's a list, the same list that I gave you. Could you tell me by going down the list, if any of those particular substances would cause impairment?
Tenazidine is a muscle relaxant, so it can cause drowsiness. Cetirizine, I believe, is an antihistamine, which can also cause drowsiness.
Will you mark a check mark next to any of the listed medications that would cause impairment or drowsiness?
I believe that's it.
Okay, and are there some that you don't recognize? Or that you may recognize but don't know what do you call it?
Like the side effects?
The side effects, thank you.
Do you want me to mark them?
You could put a question mark next to them,
Okay.
please. Okay, thank you. All right, at this time, Your Honor, and this is the summary of your testimony today,
Yes.
and it's, you have reviewed both defendants exhibit 2 and 3,
Yes.
and they are accurate for what I've asked of you, correct?
Yes.
I'm tendering defendants exhibit 2 and 3 and asking that they be admitted.
Judge, at this point, I'm just gonna relevant, I think the foundation has been laid as to relevant.
All right, if I could see the exhibits, please. Okay, so.
If I need a short break to get that ready for this witness, so if I could have a break.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a brief recess. Please remember my previous instructions. Everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone, you may be seated. Defense, it's your witness.
Yes, thank you. Okay, here's gonna break. Did you have an opportunity to review the medical records from Carlos Dominguez the day before he passed?
Yes.
Okay, and in reviewing those records, did it list current medications that he had informed the physician's office that he was taking?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that on defendants exhibit 2 and 3 that you looked at, that these are exact lists of those medications?
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, I ask that defendants exhibit 2 and 3 be admitted.
At this point, Your Honor, I'm gonna object as to, I mean, if she wants to put the medical record in, but I'm just gonna object to hearsay.
All right, let me see defense exhibits 2 and 3. All right, both parties approach.
Correct.
Okay. And just so that we're clear, well, that's fine. Okay, I pass the witness.
All right, state.
Dr. Chang, so you stated that you were a fellow, with the Bear County Attorney's Office during 2022, is that correct?
Correct.
And this autopsy was supervised by Dr. Feig, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so he was there with you while you performed the autopsy, is that correct?
Correct.
And he has a substantial amount more, experience than you, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so he was there while you performed it and reviewed the report that you, generated, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and he signed off and authorized that, correct?
Yes.
In addition to Dr. Kimberly Molina, who's the head chief medical examiner in Bear County, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so, I just wanna talk to you about the soft tissue hemorrhaging, so you stated that that indicates to you that the organs were still functioning at the time of the crash impact, is that correct?
Correct.
And you stated that typically these blunt force injuries are consistent with high-speed crashes, is that correct?
Correct. These injuries are quite extensive.
They're extensive, right? And that's consistent with someone traveling over 100 miles per hour, right?
A high speed. Yes.
Okay, and so, talking about cardiac arrest, that's a survivable event in some circumstances, right?
Correct. You can
As
survive.
well as kidney failure, correct? As well as heart failure, correct?
Correct.
As well as seizures, right?
Correct.
And as well as diabetes, correct?
Correct.
And you don't have to have diabetes to have kidney failure, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so all of those diseases that were discussed with you on cross, and in certain circumstances, they can be survivable, right? In most circumstances, right?
Yes.
In any event, are the blunt force injuries that are reflected in your report survivable?
No.
Okay, we pass the witness on.
All right, defense.
So while they may be survivable, you cannot say whether or not he would have survived those if he had experienced them, correct?
The natural disease.
Cardiac arrest, kidney failure, seizure, diabetic acidosis.
Yes.
You don't know if he would have survived or not.
Correct.
And so now based off of your testimony that you can't rule out certain things because you now have information that you didn't have at the time, correct?
Correct.
There's other possibilities that could have existed that would have at least shed more light on the circumstances surrounding Carlos Dominguez had y'all gone and gotten the data.
Correct.
Okay, and it's data that you didn't have at the time that you claimed that all these other medical doctors signed off on.
Correct.
Because no one took the time to go look, correct?
Correct.
And that's because, I mean, y'all are busy medical examiner's office, is that correct?
It was a busier office, yes.
Yes, and it's also during COVID. And
Correct.
y'all
I'm
had,
gonna object to irrelevant at this point.
Sustained.
so, the point is that this looked like an obvious answer. Correct? That's why you're like, it's blunt force. That's what killed him.
Correct.
But you would never, you're not able to tell whether or not he suffered a cardiac arrest as he's entering the roadway, correct?
Correct.
Or kidney failure as he's entering the roadway,
Correct.
or seizures or arrhythmia,
Correct.
or the diabetic acidosis,
Correct.
ketoacidosis. And so because of that, while you may have labeled this blunt force trauma, you would agree with me that there is still that unknown because you didn't, I'm not trying to point the finger at you, you were a fellow at the time, but no additional work was done to look under the hood and kind of look at these other options that may have explained the bizarre pattern of which Carlos Dominguez enters the highway.
Correct.
I pass the witness.
Any
No
further questions?
Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may step down if you'll leave the microphone behind.
I'm asking that she placed on recall.
All right, so just make sure you're available for recall. All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to excuse you for today. I'm going to have you back tomorrow at 1:30. Please remember my previous instructions. You're not allowed to discuss anything about this case that you've heard. You're not allowed to view anything. You're not allowed to do any research. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom and nowhere else. All right, and then Deputy Laura.
Judge, just for, just let you, I gotta.
I apologize. You said airbag module control and what else?
All right, could you raise your right hand for me,
Velocity
please?
assistant.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Trace Shannon, TRACE SHANNON.
All right, so this is a hearing outside the presence of the jury. The defense is requesting a Daubert hearing. State you may proceed.
Sergeant Shannon, how are you currently employed?
With the Bear County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been employed with the Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Off and on, 24 years.
Okay. And I guess, can you just explain to the court your experience within the Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Of course, from 96, I started in 1996. From 1996 to 1999, I was with detention. I left to go to the Northeast ISD PD School District Police and was there from 99 to 2005. Came back to the county in 2006, where I did a short stint on patrol. From there, I went to traffic in 2007 and was on the DWI task force for 7 years, where I did numerous DWIs, probably well over 1,000. And then, of course, all the major crashes as well. While in the traffic unit, I took the intermediate collision course and advanced collision course through TEACS, which is the A&M extension, engineers extension. And then in 2014, I did another stint in patrol. In 2016, I promoted to investigator, where I went into traffic investigations. At that point, I took the collision reconstruction and auto pedestrian reconstruction and became an advanced collision reconstructionist. I spent 6 years as an investigator in CID. And in 2022, I promoted to sergeant and they promoted me in place. And I was the sergeant over traffic homicide for 3 years.
Okay. And so during your time with CID, were you also working traffic related offenses?
Yes,
Okay, and so would that include fatal car crashes, intox, manslaughter, and things of that sort?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so roughly in your career, how many investigations have you conducted involving crashes and just crashes and fatality deaths related to crashes?
Probably well over a couple hundred.
Okay. And have you testified as an expert witness before in the area of crashes, airbag control module, velocity, speed, and distance?
Yes,
Okay, and does that include courts in this county as well?
yes.
Okay, and regarding crash investigations, have you obtained any licenses or certificates regarding crash data retrieval and the airbag control module?
Yes, a technician certificate for the imaging of the airbag control modules. Also a data analyst or CDR data analyst certificate to analyze those reports.
Okay.
And at one point I was a trainer as well.
Okay. And so regarding this, can you just explain to the jury how you go about, or the method that's used to retrieve the airbag control module data from a motor vehicle?
So depending on whether the vehicle still has power, what we do is we go by the make and model, the manufacturer. We have a particular set of cables for each airbag control module if we have to go straight to the actual module itself. Otherwise, we go through the DLC, which is the data link, otherwise known as the OBD2 port. And we use the Bosch CDR tool. And in this particular case, that was the CAN Plus, which is the interface. So we put a cable into that OBD2 port and hook into the interface and hook that to a computer, and using the Boss CDR tool software. Once we apply power, whether it be a jump box or if the car still has power from the battery, we turn that power on, it creates the link, and from there we're able to image the airbag control module.
Okay. And on about how many occasions have you done this in prior investigations?
Hundreds.
Okay. And you have the specific certification for that as well, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your training and experience, have you found this mechanism to be valid and reliable?
Yes.
And is it also used by other law enforcement agencies as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is it accepted in the law enforcement community?
Yes.
And then regarding the speed, distance, and velocity, what is, I guess, the field of expertise relied upon for that science? Is it math or something else?
Particularly math. You have to go by the data provided by the airbag control module report or the CDR report.
Okay.
And then you can take your time and speed and get your distance.
Okay.
And then basically from collision to where that vehicle started within that pre-crash data, the 5 seconds.
Okay. And so the way that you find that information out, do you use like an equation to figure that out, or what is the calculation or mechanism that's used to get that?
So basically whatever the speed is in this particular, I believe the vehicle was in half-second intervals.
Okay.
So each half second gives you a speed. You take that speed and have to convert it into velocity, which is taking the speed times 1.466, which gives you feet per second. And then from there, you have to times that times 0.5 since you're dealing with half a second. And that gives you the distance. And then you total up all those intervals, and that gives you the complete distance where that vehicle was 5 seconds prior.
Okay. And is this a technique that is accepted in the scientific and law enforcement community?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is that what you did in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your training and experience, have you found it to be valid and reliable?
Yes.
Okay. And the results in this case, they were reflected in a report, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's the technique. The technique that you testified to is the technique that you applied in this case to obtain the airbag control module and then do an analysis for the speed, velocity, and distance. Is that correct?
Correct.
We pass it over to Mr.
All right. So you may proceed.
So I'm gonna ask you in regards to your analysis of the speed, velocity, and distance, that is only based on the numbers that came from the airbag control module.
Correct.
Okay, you didn't consider any of the visual evidence in this case?
As far as roadway evidence?
Yes.
Jack asked you outside of the scope, it's not relating to his expertise.
Sustained.
Your Honor, he is gonna draw some conclusions. Let me ask you because he's gonna draw some conclusions that I think are outside, like I think that he needed to know additional information.
Well, that goes towards cross-examination, but my understanding from both parties is that this witness's expertise is related to speed and velocity. That's what both parties informed the court it was based upon. So if there's some other factors that you feel as though he should have considered, then that's more towards cross-examination, but not towards his expertise.
And I appreciate that, Your Honor, but what I'm trying to ascertain is the containment of what he can testify to. Like, because I don't want, as the state's asking questions, for them to start asking questions that are at the scene, and then we have to have another hearing.
No, I mean, if they ask questions that's outside his area of expertise, that's where objections come in, and the court will make a ruling, because the court's understanding is his area of expertise is specifically to velocity and speed and nothing else. So if the state tries to or wants to ask him something outside his area of expertise, that's where the court will hear objections. But for now, this hearing is related specifically to his area of expertise.
And I want clarification on his area of expertise, if that normally would require, your analysis would require you analyzing on-scene data or video footage.
Correct.
It would require that?
We take it all into consideration.
Okay, so then you're testifying, you use, in addition to the airbag module, you're also using data from the live scene, correct?
We collected data from the scene, yes.
I'm asking if in your analysis, did you use that data?
No, because the CDR report showed complete and there were no errors.
Did you make any reports or provide the state any further analysis other than what's in the CDR?
No,
Okay, so you didn't take a picture of the scene, an aerial picture, and do the 5 seconds out? Was that?
no, that was an image off of Google Earth.
To object as to not relating to his expertise.
All right, that will be sustained.
Your Honor, he just testified that he did it based off of the data and the 5 seconds out. I'm trying to figure out, the state has provided me with evidence. I don't know if he did it or not, but he's, at this point, I'm just finding out he didn't do it.
All right, so
So,
everybody makes their objections. I will make my rulings, and those are my rulings. My understanding is this is a Daubert hearing, and it's challenging this witness's expertise in the field of velocity and speed. If there is something else that he's being offered as an expert in, let the court know and I will hear it. But my understanding is he is being offered as an expert for velocity and speed. And he's not being offered as an expert in anything else. If he is being offered as an expert in something other than those two, then let the court know. Is he being offered, what is he being offered as an expert in, please?
Just one caveat, I think in my direct, I did lay the foundation for the distance as well, because it goes into the equation. But then that would be it. Judge.
All right, so he's being offered for distance, speed, and velocity.
and
You may ask your next question.
so there's a CDR report, correct?
Correct,
That you did.
yes.
And off of that CDR report, did you do any further analysis?
Yes, we did a time and distance analysis.
So you did that time and distance analysis, correct?
Correct.
And are these the time and distance analysis calculations that you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But did you also then summarize those in a document or an aerial photo?
Yes, using our equipment, we recorded the footage or the points and lines off of the crime scene, and I did a scale diagram.
Okay, all right. And that scale diagram, just to be clear, doesn't take into account the actual live scene or any of that. That's just based off of your CDR.
No, that is based off of the data points from the Leica MS-60, which is survey equipment that we utilize to forensically map the scene.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. Did you survey the scene?
Yes,
So it was you that took all the measurements on scene?
yes.
All right. Okay, and do you have any other reports that have that measurements on scene?
No, just the raw data that I provided.
Okay, so, and that raw data came from the CDR?
Yes.
So.
No, that raw data came from the instrument, the Leica.
And where's that report?
That's in the my supplement report.
Can I approach you?
Yes.
So what other document? I'm so sorry about that.
It's not in here. It was with the RMS report.
RMS.
Yes,
Okay.
our reporting system. It was a written report.
And do you know how many pages that was?
I believe it was one.
Okay. All right, at this time, Your Honor, I have no further questions. I'm gonna ask that I make sure I have a copy of that report from the state before tomorrow.
All reports have been tendered to defense and the raw data was provided to you on your personal drive.
Okay,
All right, so the court will, if you'll just step in the back area very briefly. All right, the court will hear argument. Are you challenging the witness's expertise?
no, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right. Then, sir, I'll need you back here tomorrow at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, so everyone, I'll see you all back at 1:30. Is there anything that either you want me to review before that time? Is there any video or something that the court needs to view before then?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, so if there's something that you all want me to view or make a ruling on and it's in the form of a video, then just let me have it by tomorrow morning. That way I'll be able to make a review on it without delaying the jurors.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.